Hello again everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the much anticipated Cardinal Grand Cross of 2014. Well, the Cardinal Grand Cross is going to take place on April 23rd and 24th, 2014. As far as the exact 13 degrees of all these planets involved in it in this configuration, it can strongly impact the signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, because the configuration will be in these signs, and there's going to be all squares and oppositions connected with these signs. And it could very well have a collective global impact as well. Now, the Cardinal Grand Cross is going to consist of 2 oppositions and 4 squares. Uranus and Mars are opposed, and Jupiter and Pluto are opposed in this configuration. In this, people are going to be more likely than not compelled to combat issues and ways and methods of doing things that may be somewhat antiquated and not effective anymore. Regeneration, transformation, change, and reformation is going to figure prominently during this Cardinal Grand Cross. We're going to look at this as the planets involved in this are Uranus, Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto. They're all going to be at 13 degrees. Uranus, 13 degrees Aries. Mars will be at 13 degrees Libra. Jupiter at 13 degrees Cancer. And Pluto at 13 degrees Capricorn. We're going to see the 4 planets involved at these 13 degrees. For the 4 signs that I talked about that are going to probably feel the greatest impact, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, what's going to impact them strongly, it'll be the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th houses. So obviously the 1st house being the personality themselves, the outlook on life. 4th, the home and family life might see some disruption and upheavals that are connected. You see the 7th, partnerships, relationships, and the 10th, career, notoriety, status recognition. These things are going to be strong emphasis, and there may be strong changes, transformations that are associated with this during this period for them. Now, if we look at the people with the greatest, they're going to face the greatest impact from this configuration are not just the people that are in these 4 signs, but it'll be more specifically 3 to 23 degrees of these signs. We use an orb of 10 degrees because they'll at least be if their sign, sun or rising sign doesn't fall at exactly 13 degrees of any of those signs, it's gonna, if it falls between 3 and 23, there'll be conjunctions made. If not, because most people aren't going to have the exact, they won't have exactly 13 degrees in sun rising sign of Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn. But the people that are between 3 to 23 degrees of those signs of either the sun or rising sign, any of those signs will still feel the impact strongly, because the conjunction will still, they'll be facing a conjunction made by one of those planets to their sun and their sun or rising sign. Now, this could be, if we look at it in a natal perspective, natally, this could be indicative of a person that has to battle much adversity, face a lot of trials and tribulations during the course of one's life. Could be somebody very self-reliant, resolute, and intransigent. Could have inordinate willpower, just in general. The fact that it's in cardinal signs, though, it indicates someone that might have trouble attaining their objectives due to the fact there's so much activity going on, so many things they may be trying to do simultaneously, that they might accomplish not nearly as much as they would like to do because they're trying to embark on too many projects at once. Now, this could also signify just strong activity connected with the planets that are mentioned, like the things that are of a militant nature as far as globally, which is Mars, rebellion, which is Uranus, upheaval, change, which is Pluto, and the risk-taking, things of an audacious nature, which is associated with Jupiter. And if we look at using an 8-degree orb, the Grand Cross will actually be in effect until about May 15th, 2014. So, I mean, the exact configuration may take place April 23rd and 24th of 2014, but we'll still feel it to some degree at that point in time. And we've actually had the Cardinal Grand Cross been, we've seen this configuration kind of sporadically on and off from maybe the last 3 months or so, around that period approximately. So it's not like when this date comes, it's not going to be like something that we haven't already experienced on some level, and it's going to be a little more intense. Maybe we're going to see some activity on that day, but I don't know if it's going to be anything, we're going to see anything that devastating happen. I think it's a little bit, this thing is a little bit magnified and maybe slightly distorted, but obviously I'm going to get some varying feedback on that. But anyway, people, I'm done with part 1 of the Cardinal Grand Cross for 2014, and stay tuned next time where I'll be dissertating and talking about the Cardinal Grand Cross Part 2 of 2014. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.